Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I have all of my meditation books right here. So let's get right into these. Let's see, which one should I pick from first? A Year of Positive Thinking by Cindy Spiegel. All right, let's see what she has to say to us today. What is the universe speaking to us today? It is April 3rd. See. April 3rd, you are. It takes courage to be your true self, vulnerability to allow others to see you, and wisdom to know that, regardless of what life tosses your way, you are enough. You are courageous, you are vulnerable, you are wise, you are enough. And I really, really like this meditation. You know, if you've watched my channels for the last couple months, I've been talking about this idea of be too much. And I've said it a thousand times, probably not 1,000, but hundreds of times now over on my drama channel. And I've said it over here, and I've said it, you know, other places as well. And it kind of comes from this thing that, you know, I know that when people see me, they see, you know, I typically wear a black t-shirt and a trucker hat, and that's about as exciting as it gets. These days, I'm more concerned with comfort. But it's really not just about clothes, or the music that you listen to, or the books that you read, or the shows that you watch. It's really about encompassing everything about who you are inside, and knowing that it's good enough, and knowing that you're good enough, and that you don't have to play into what other people want to see of you, and what you think other people's expectations are of you. And you don't have to do it in a rude way. It's not about that at all. It's about being and meeting yourself exactly where you are at. For years, I would have people say to me, they would always go like this to me, like, you're talking too loud, you're talking too fast, you're talking too much. They would always say that, right? And it was always like, you know, this idea of you're too much, you're too much, you're too much. And, you know, I actually talked about this in a vlog one time. I would see people like walk into a room, and they would just like, you know, it's like their presence, everything about them, like all eyes turned on them, you know? And it was just like, they were these amazing people that when you saw them, it's just like, oh my God, like everything looks put together. They always say the right things. Just, you know, they're just really, really like neat people. And it's just like everything seems just so, you know, like in tune. And then there was me, and I was always like the bull in the china shop kind of thing, you know, like I was always like stumbling over my words, saying the wrong joke, you know, talking too loud, laughing at inappropriate times, and just, I was just too much, you know? And so I started like really kind of withdrawing into myself, and I think this was at a time that like my social anxiety really started, but it even got worse as time went on, because I wouldn't want to go to stuff, because when I did, I would always feel like I said the wrong thing, or, you know, like, I don't know, like I laughed at the wrong time, or showed sympathy or empathy towards somebody at a time, or a person that maybe was more private and guarded and didn't want to have any kind of sympathy or empathy towards them. Because there are people that, you know, if you say, oh, I'm really sorry that you're going through that, they look at you like, don't say anything, don't bring any attention to it. So I almost started feeling, and I don't know if this is a feeling anybody else has had, but I almost started feeling like I couldn't really exist in the world as it was, to be myself. Like, I found myself being, at times, almost kind of like, when I was with this group, I had to be a certain way, and when I was with this group, I dropped my glasses. When I was with this group, I had to be a certain way. And it just was unsettling, you know? It was always like quieter versions of myself, you know? Or settled down versions of myself. I would find myself being in groups of people where it really, to be honest with you, the change started for me back to finding who I was, when I would find myself around groups of people that would make gay jokes, and I would laugh, you know, at the expense of wanting to feel included or whatever, when there was really nothing funny to me about the joke. I'm not saying that there aren't jokes that I've heard, gay jokes that are funny, because I would be lying if I said that. There are jokes that I've heard that are funny, right? But there would be jokes that were told that were hurtful to me as well. And I would still kind of like laugh, you know, because it was uncomfortable for me to be sitting there. And then, you know, sooner or later, somebody would turn to me and say, oh, but not you. Like, we're not, I mean, you know, we love you, you know. And I'm like, you love me, but you're laughing at me, right? And then it was like, but if I ever stood up in a situation like that and somebody was making a joke that I didn't find funny or I found was inappropriate, not just towards me, but, towards, other marginalized groups, if I stood up and I said, I don't think that's really appropriate, then everybody looked at me like, who are you? Like, why are you, the social justice warrior? And I'm like, I'm not a social justice warrior. I'm just speaking the truth that what you're saying is ignorant and inappropriate. And then it was all of a sudden like, ooh, Peter's too serious now. So it was like in any situation I was in, I was too much, right? Like I was either loud and I was too much, or I was dancing and I was like being too much, I even had a girl one time say to me, this was actually at a birthday party for Alex that he had like rented out this area to room. And this girl said to me, knowing that I have epilepsy, I was like dancing and I was having all fun. And she goes, don't dance like that. You look like you're having an epileptic seizure. And I was like, did you really just say that to me? It was like, I've had so many people make comments like that to me through the years of, like when I started on YouTube, it was a lot of people that said like, oh, his voice is so annoying. His voice gives my ears cancer, on this kind of stuff. And what I had to really realize was I am here just one time. Okay? And I'm here for but a moment. And I have to truly, truly enjoy every moment that I'm here. And if I don't, and I start living up to what all these people around me think, or what they think is right, or what they think is appropriate, then I'm not being true to myself. So being too much is really about being true to yourself, It's even like last year when I got my roller skates, I was so excited and so many people were like so encouraging of, me getting roller skates online. I was like, I want roller skates, whatever. So the first night that I put them on, they're hard. They're harder than they look, you guys. I remember putting on roller skates and just being, the roller diva on the driveway. It's not that easy. It's harder than all of that. It really is, even just to stand up on them, So at one point I changed them and I put on my rollerblades, because I was very good at rollerblading at one point. I was a great roller skating diva back in the day in my driveway, when I was a kid. But when you're heavier and older and you've had back problems, it's a little bit harder. So I found myself in the driveway that night, and I just kind of went back and forth between like the car and the mailbox, you know what I mean? And I had like my AirPods on, and I was listening to Donna Summer hot stuff, and all the mixes, the Donna Summer songs, and all the old school, stuff. And I was sitting there, and I was like so concerned that somebody in my neighborhood would come out and see me. And it was like, even then, I was like, see, you're playing into this. And so the next day, Alex came out and he was kind of like watching me. And I said, will you record me like roller skating? Because I wanted to be able to see it. I put it up on my TikTok and I wanted to be able to see it myself. And, and I even make jokes now with my neighbors. I'm like, just expect that you're going to see me out here roller skating to Donna Summer down the street, because that to me, I can visualize myself like just being in my happiest moment, roller skating, listening to this music that meant so much to me when I was younger, and I think that's what it's really about. It's really connecting with your soul and who are you at your core, and living that to the truest, and not allowing somebody to hold you back, not allowing somebody to say, quiet down, or you're too much, or whatever. I'm not saying that we don't say things that are inappropriate at times. We do, and I think we should, take responsibility for those things when we say it. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. But if it's just about like, I don't know, laughing and not being so composed, and it's like, I think like in our world today, it's so like important to always be like so composed and put together and be the right person. And I just don't care about that. I really don't, like I get up every single day and I throw on clothes that are comfortable for me, and I blast my music as I drive down the street. Today it was Taylor Dane, old Taylor Dane, tell it to my heart, and I just have fun in life today. And quite frankly, it makes me sad that it took as long as it did to get to the point where I can just enjoy my life and have fun, So don't ever let anybody, and I think often, don't ever let anybody like hold you back. And I think often it's not even like people that we don't know, it's our closest family members sometimes that say things to us. Like, my mother was I shouldn't say never. She was rarely critical of like an outfit that I put together or whatever. Like, did you ever remember back in the day when you were like in school and you'd like put the whole outfit together and you're like, this is like one of the things I love about my husband, because he will do this and then wear the outfit. I would put the whole outfit together, with the hat and the tie and the shirt and everything. And then I'd get up the next morning and be like, I'm not wearing that. I actually saw a Kathy. Do you remember Kathy, the cartoon? I saw a Kathy cartoon of that years ago. And I was like, that is so me, right? But one time I colored my hair. I colored my hair all kinds of colors, I colored my hair like it was like jet black. And I came down the stairs. I'll never forget, my mom stood at the bottom of those stairs and she looked at me and she goes, you're not going to school looking like that, are you? And I was like, what does that mean? You know, and it was so hurtful at my core. And she later apologized and she was like, you know, I want you to be whoever you want to be. I want you to, you know, I was just afraid that, you know, like the movie Carrie, they're all going to laugh at you. Well, you're going to get laughed at being yourself sometimes, you know, in life. But what is the more important lesson? You know, overcoming the laughter of others or being true to yourself? We have only one time on this earth. You know, I think it's more important to be really true to ourselves and inside who we want to be and living that out loud. So anyway, I think that's a great meditation. I loved it. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.